During our tech showcase later, we will be organizing guided tours in groups of 2, and the same social distancing and mask wearing rules apply. While you wait, please feel free to scan the QR code for the Demo Day booklet, and you can already read up on Cohort 4's teams and the program itself. Thank you so much, and we'll see you very soon.
Singapore Tourism Board started its digital transformation journey a few years ago, and as technology, data and personalization becomes the core of the tourism industry, we want to ensure that our stakeholders stay ahead of the competition. The Singapore Tourism Accelerator is one of the initiatives to future-proof our tourism sector. We want to attract and house new technologies and innovation from around the world, scale up and adopt it across the industry sector.
The world is changing extremely fast. The competition is growing, but I think innovation is vital for the tourism industry.
STA program has been a great experience so far. It's given us a great platform to meet innovative solutions that I believe the tourism industry really needs.
Being able to apply new technologies to actually improve customer experience, be more profitable, but also actually understand our customers much better.
So far it's been very good. We get exposed to good initiatives by startup. I would encourage all organizations to participate because we get to work with very fresh ideas.
I've been very impressed with how bright many of these people are.
I think this is a phenomenal opportunity, and it builds upon Singapore's brand as Passion Made Possible, and also gives tools back to industry partners to do something that is fun, engaging and impactful to the business at the same time.
Good afternoon from all of us here in Singapore, and good morning, good evening to teams and audiences who are dialing in from across the globe. There are as many as 230 of you who have registered to join us online. Welcome to Singapore Tourism Accelerator's Cohort 4 Demo Day. Together with Catherine Miller, I am Grace Lai, the founder and CEO of Rebel Innovation, and we'll be your moderators today. At Rebel, we work with progressive organizations, from corporates to family businesses to progressive government agencies like STB in their innovation journeys. And we are the proud program partner of the Singapore Tourism Accelerator since its inception in 2019 by Singapore Tourism Board. And I can't believe that we're already graduating our 4th cohort. We're here to celebrate the achievements of our 9 teams today from Cohort 4, as well as their pilot industry partners. But first, I'd like to extend our special welcome to our guest of honor, Minister Alvin Tan, Minister of State for Ministry of Trade and Industry and Ministry of Culture, Communication, Community and Youth, Mr. Keith Tan, CEO of STB, Mr. Wong Ming Fai, CTO of STB, and Hui Hong, Executive Director, Industry Technology Transformation at STB. All our industry partners, VCs, mentors, stakeholders, alumni of our program, and last but not least, the stars of today, our Cohort 4's 9 startups representing 6 countries. So an overview of today's event, we will have the honor of listening to Minister Tan and STB CE Keith in their opening remarks. And right after that, we will be listening to the 9 pitches. 7 of them are here in person to join us from 6 countries, and 2 of them will be online. And after the closing remarks, we have organized an exclusive networking event for our online audience and a guided tech showcase across from TQ at our accelerator space for our in-person audience. We look forward to facilitating personal connections during and after this event to further scale some of the amazing innovations present today. If you have not downloaded our Demo Day booklet, please take a moment to scan the QR code on this screen, and for our online audience, on the link in your chat. Thank you again for being with us today, and I also want to take this opportunity to thank my amazing team at Rebel and to the T-Cube team for pulling this event off. It was many, many rehearsals and multiple scenarios to make this happen today. So, I would love to really invite you to join me in welcoming our guest of honor, Minister Alvin Tan, Minister of State for MTI and MCCY, to give his welcoming remarks. Minister Tan, please.
It's a mouthful. I still haven't gotten used to it. Yeah, and it really uses 2 sides of the brain, trade and industry, and the other side is culture, community, youth. Sometimes, actually most times, complementary. But Grace, thank you very much for helping open up this event. I can imagine how many times you rehearsed, and a lot of effort being put in. But I would just like to say that Ming Fai, we were just touring earlier on, And I said, if you don't give me a timing, I will just stay there forever, even. Because all of the different kind of companies, the showcases, the products, I would just say it's not fully formed. And that's a good thing. If the products are fully formed, then you have little space for maneuver. And that's why I kept asking, like, what else can you do with your product? What is the use case? And again, like Keith and I were on many, many calls this morning. So I was just sharing that, this is really energizing. Because coming into here, you can just feel the energy. So I haven't even gone to my speech yet. So I'm supposed to, it's Keith, CEO of STB, Ming Fai, who's our CTO, and also many others here this afternoon. It's actually a rainy afternoon for everyone who's not in Singapore. I tweaked the speech a little bit because last night I was, actually over the weekend, I was scrolling through my Instagram feed, and I saw a friend of mine posting about her trip to Germany. If you want to go to Germany, now's the time to go to Germany, for example. And she was in the Bavarian Mountains. One of my colleagues in MTI, who's going to get married in October, he's probably planning to go to, he told me he's probably going to plan to go to Germany as well. The reason why I raised these two is because people are yearning to travel. They want to go and see the mountains of Bavaria, they want to go to the beaches of Bondi. And I also think that there are many that want to come to see our Gardens by the Bay, our super trees, our Chihuli, for example, many others, and also our hawker fair, taste the hawker fair. So then why are we talking about tech and accelerators and the likes? I think for many of us, we are a little bit exhausted about the digital space. I don't know about you, but the whole morning of Skype and Zooms and everything is quite exhausting, And I think looking at my friend's feed, everybody's like, wow, so jealous, because you want to be out there. So why are we still talking about technology? The reason why is that the virtual and hybrid worlds are here to stay in many different regards. They are here to stay, number one, because it's just the way that we have now evolved because of the pandemic. But number two, and it will complement even when pandemic becomes endemic. The second reason is the pandemic has also, or the virus has also shown that it has thrown many different curveballs. So you need still to put in all of these tech solutions in play just in case it goes awry. And you can see that it's just thrown so many curveballs after curveballs. So you have the tech to complement in the new endemic world, and you have the tech to help prevent or to help serve as the bulwark in case we need to go into different states of control again. I think that's important. So I'm really, really happy that our tourism businesses have built this tech muscle over time, and our STB continues to help our tourism businesses complement travel in a COVID world and prepare for possible exigencies should the pandemic throw up new surprises. Allow me to share how. So STB has set up this Tourism Accelerator, which is a digital transformation initiative under TCube to help tourism businesses innovate and redesign experiences. It pairs tourism business with tech companies to pilot tech solutions. Grace, as you said, since its launch in 2019, the accelerator has received strong support from both local and international innovation partners. And we have Cohort 4 today. So across these 4 cohorts, the accelerator program has seen more than 700 tech companies or solution applications from 50 countries and onboarded more than 30 tourism businesses as program industry partners. It has supported 34 tech companies to develop 45 industry solutions, driving innovation in our tourism sector. We talked earlier on, Keith and I, about applying solutions. That's the fun part of it. When you apply these solutions, our businesses have been able to enhance their operations from streamlining back-end processes to improving the visitor experience. For instance, Copthorne Kings Hotel, which participated in Cohort 3 of this accelerator, partnered Woohoo to bring in the Woohoo X series as part of their digital transformation initiative We saw the Woohoo X series earlier on, Ming-Fai, and it's interesting because you can then, order something online. It's basically, an AI-enabled tool. You order online, they can bring new suggestions on maybe a massage, or go down to, maybe the pool is available for your kids, for example. So it's quite innovative. This helped to improve in-room guest experiences while reducing staff calls by 20%, so there's a productivity aspect to it. It increased in-room dining by at least 30%, and provide real-time operational insights to the hotel, very data-driven. Copthorne King's Hotels pilot with Woohoo. Woohoo is one of the many innovative pilots that have been developed through the Tech Accelerator program. And participating tech companies have also benefited from our accelerator. They will see, and they do see the accelerator as a platform to collaborate, but also to grow their businesses. So I'm really quite excited to see that 7 overseas-based tech companies have decided to incorporate in Singapore as a result of their business opportunities made available through our accelerator program. I think that is a great KPI, Keith, incredible. And I'm so glad that the accelerator has supported the business expansion of more than 6 local tech companies. For example, Vouch, a provider of digital concierge solutions, has gone international. Lumitics, we talked about earlier on, it's an AI-powered food waste tracking startup, has secured projects in the hospitality and aviation industry, and won the UN WTO Award for Sustainable Consumption and Production. So we were just talking earlier on, and basically, if there's food waste, you can measure food waste, you weigh it, or you take a visual of it, and then you can tell whether your chicken masala is nice or not. So since joining the program, tech companies from the first 3 cohorts have also collectively received more than 14 million Sing dollars worth of investment funding from the private sector. So to better support our tourism sector in preparing for the reopening, I'm happy to share that we will extend the Singapore Tourism Accelerator for another 2 years until 2023. And tourism businesses can look forward to a larger pool of local and global innovative tech companies and tech providers, as well as enhanced grant support to adopt solutions developed under the program. The accelerator will continue to support STB's vision of Singapore as a marketplace that brings together world-class tourism businesses and cutting-edge tech providers to power the future of travel and tourism. So even as we ride through this pandemic-induced turbulence in our tourism industry, we are already doing this. We are already seizing opportunities to innovate so that we can thrive in a COVID world. So let's reimagine, redesign, rediscover, and then re-accelerate. So come join our community of tourism innovators through our TCube program. Together, we will reimagine a world where tourism can thrive even when COVID remains endemic, redesign how we engage with our customers, rediscover new tourism offerings, both offline and online, and re-accelerate our efforts to use tech to do all of the above. So my very best to all of the teams participating, and congratulations to our STB team and others as well. Wish you all the best and good luck. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Minister Tan, for your warm welcome and for the recap of the impact of the accelerator that it has had on Singapore's tourism sector. If I may go off script a little bit, talking about hybrid, you really remind me that you're like just one of us, like a tech founder, but also a minister. So you're also a hybrid in our eyes. Next, I'd like to welcome on stage STB's Chief Executive, Mr. Keith Tan, for his opening address. Keith, please.
I'm Wes Elvin, friends and colleagues in the tourism sector, and good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I'm delighted to welcome you in person. I'm so happy to be here in person. I've spoken at these events virtually, and somehow it doesn't feel the same, To be here, talking to you, talking to people with ideas, and then getting ideas and inspired by that as well. It's much harder to replicate that sort of atmosphere virtually. So I'm very happy to be able to do this with the 4th cohort of the Singapore Tourism Accelerator program. Now, I joined STB just about 3 years ago, almost 3 years. And before I joined, if you had asked me what the overlap was between tourism, technology, digital, I would say, huh? You know, what relationship does tourism have with technology, digital, and so on, you know? And of course, now I know nothing could be further from the truth. Now, maybe 10 years ago, people would have said that actually tourism businesses, not very digitally savvy. But now that has changed so much. Of course, a lot has been driven by COVID, right? COVID, as we know, has really accelerated digitalization and technological transformation. And STB is here to support the tourism sector. Many of the representatives of the Singapore tourism sector are here. And we are committed to support your businesses in your transformation journeys in order to raise your capabilities. Ultimately, we want to do 3 things. Number 1, we want to boost your ability to reach out to new market segments. Segments that may have never thought about visiting your hotel, never thought of visiting Singapore. We want you to be able to reach out to them better. Number 2, we want you to create new offerings, boost the quality of your experiences through technology and digital, right? So that you create more wow experiences for Singapore. And number 3, through all this, you can increase your productivity, increase your top line. So ultimately, that's what our technological and digital transformation must be all about, to help you reach more people, help Singapore reach more people, create more great experiences here in Singapore, to make Singapore truly a differentiated, distinctive destination, especially when international travel resumes. To support all these efforts, STB has scaled up our efforts through T-Cube, which is here. And it's a physical space, but I like to tell people it is a physical manifestation of our true ambitions, right, to help support this tourism, this transformation journey of our tourism businesses. Some of the initiatives under T-Cube include our Tourism Transformation Index, TXI, which is a self-diagnostic tool on businesses' state of transformation, and our Tech College, which helps businesses keep up with the latest tech developments and trends. Good for us as well in STB. So I've learned a lot about recently a series of courses and training on augmented reality, AR, which I believe is something we all need to really grapple with. As MOS Alvin has shared, the Singapore Tourism Accelerator is one of the many initiatives under T-Cube to help tourism businesses innovate and increase their digital capabilities. I want to thank our industry partners, some of whom are here, and many of whom are also dialing in virtually, for your vote of confidence in partnering the STA, our program in your transformation journey. I would welcome feedback as well along the way on how we can refine and improve this program to suit your needs in the future. Additionally, I also want to thank our innovation partners, such as the Welcome City Lab, UNWTO, and many others in supporting these efforts to power the future of travel and tourism. Today, we are very proud to present the 9 tech companies from our 4th cohort. Now, they overcame a lot of challenges brought about by COVID. Some of them traveled to Singapore from around the world and served their stay-home notice, SHN, to be present here for today's program. Others have worked through different time zones to ensure a smooth remote pilot. Together, they have embarked on 11 pilots with industry partners such as Mount Faber Leisure Group, SATS, Pontiac Land Group, and many others. For example, through the Singapore Tourism Accelerator program, the Pontiac Land Group is developing a delivery optimization pilot with Quincus from Singapore to address perennial business challenges of delivery congestions at loading bays. By streamlining delivery across all hotel chains, they aim to reduce high logistics costs and delivery delays. And I was discussing earlier on as well, can they also perhaps reduce some of the carbon emissions from lorries that have to go around in circles or waiting to offload their deliveries? Mount Faber Leisure Group is working with Ulisse from Italy to develop infrared analytic sensors to manage guest safety on cable cars while ensuring guest privacy. And I have to say, I love the cable cars. They are one of our star attractions, and I really hope that they will continue to appeal to travelers in the future. SATS is working with Leader from the US to develop data analytics and sharing capabilities This helps SATs to facilitate secure data sharing and processing without revealing commercial sensitivities amongst its different business partners. And this is to help them then derive data-driven insights to make smarter business decisions. There are many more innovative pilots from the 4th cohort, so do tune in to their presentations to learn the relevant applications for your businesses. The key thing is this: you hear all these great ideas, and I hope that you are inspired, if you're a company in the tourism sector, that you are inspired to see how these can be applied to your business. In fact, some of the ideas that I mentioned didn't occur to me that were possible. The idea of, for example, optimizing delivery trucks coming to your property. It didn't occur to me that it's possible. So I hope that through the presentations today, that you realize that some of the things that you didn't think were possible could be possible for your business, for your company, right? And then you learn from this, and I hope that you can apply some of these solutions to your business. Because ultimately, what STB is, we are not a tech company, but we are here to facilitate and create this marketplace of ideas where there are great solutions providers from around the world and willing, hungry companies in Singapore willing to pilot these innovative solutions, trial them out, see how they work. And that's what we're here to do, to create this marketplace of ideas to power the next generation of tourism companies here in Singapore. For the investors joining us today, I hope our 9 companies from the 4th cohort will also pique your interest as well. So thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope you have a great rest of the afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith, for really inspiring words to our industry partners and startups. The call to action is clear, and STB and all the team at T-Cube and Rebel will be at your side taking all the necessary steps in your digital transformation journey. The T-Cube initiatives for the next 2 years are truly inspiring and impactful, and I encourage everyone to check them out as well. So and now it's my pleasure to hand over the rest of today's event to STA's Program Manager, Catherine.
Yeah, thank you, Grace. I'm very happy to be here today with you and guide you through the remainder of this event, guiding you through the upcoming 9 presentations. Until I hand over to our first presenter, though, I would like to give a little bit of a shout out to our mentors who have been working with us, some of them actually since 2019, working with us, helping these startups understand the Singapore market, and understand how to scale in this market. So thank you very much for joining us in this program, spending time and expertise, and helping these startups succeed. Also, big thank you and shout out to our program partners who have also spent time, resources, provided events and seminars for our startups to do exactly the same thing, understand how Singapore works, how the tourism sector works. Last but not least, a big shout out and thank you to our participating industry partners. For Cohort 4, we have worked with 9 of you, 9 industry partners who have been very committed, engaged, and motivated to work with our teams, with our 9 teams here in Singapore, to adapt their solutions to their use cases, to create new features as well, to create exciting new use cases. So we're really excited to be able to showcase to you today what these pilots look like. And more importantly, of course, thank you to the 9 teams who have traveled to Singapore from 6 countries. We are very proud of them being here, very proud of them presenting today these results. They work tirelessly, and they have been chosen from a record number of applications that we have received for Cohort 4, 215 applications from more than 50 countries. They will be showcasing 11 pilots to you today, and to the investors online and here in the room. In total, the startups are raising 17.5 million Singapore dollars, ranging from seed to Series A round. It's fresh capital or final amounts for round closures. All of these teams will have 7 minutes to present their solutions and their pilots, more so, to you and let you know what they can do for your business. While we are having them present their pilots, we have Q&A, and there is a QR code here for you to scan with your phone, or also there's a link in the chat. This QR code will stay the same throughout all the 9 presentations, and you can just stay on it with your device and ask your questions as we go along. We will address these questions after the presentation. Some of them, not all, some of them. In addition to this, we will also give you the opportunity to connect with these teams, the teams of your interest. There's another QR code that we will be flashing at the end of each presentation, and you can fill in which team you'd like to be connected to. And our Revel team will work in the background to make these introductions happen via email. So now I think it's time to get started. This is our first team that we are presenting to you today. Please welcome with me Alvin, a Singaporean who has gone out to the US to start Leader. And Edwin will let you know what the magic that data can do to help you and your companies succeed and be that one step ahead without exchanging the data. So, Edwin, let's go.
Thank you. All right, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. My name is Edwin Lau. I'm the CEO of Leader Technologies. We're a deep technology company that has to do with knowledge orchestration. So let's get started. Many of us believe that information has become one of the most valuable resources in the world. Understandable, billions and billions of dollars are spent every year by companies building new capabilities in data analytics, data science, big data, and so forth. So over the next few minutes, I hope to share some ideas with you so that you may get more value from these digital transformation journeys that you're on. Because unfortunately, it still is very hard. We hear from a lot of executives that say, we've invested in a lot of technology. Why does it take so long? I'm sure the data is there. Why can't we get to it? And that's because a lot of our systems are still designed around people doing a lot of that manual work. And if you want to try to operationalize some of these things, it gets even harder. Imagine working with people in the ecosystem. That gets even harder. And part of the reason is a lot of the systems that we have today do not like to communicate with each other. They're just not designed for that, right? It's just like a chicken trying to have a meaningful conversation with a duck. You know, that's virtually impossible. So what we need is actually a different approach. Instead of getting people to query databases, we actually want a system where you can get now digital agents to actually do a lot of this manual work that people typically need to do. And so at Leader, what we've done is to create a way that you're organizing around real-world things. You organize around the 20 million people that visit Singapore pre-COVID. You organize around the 400 hotels that you have in Singapore. You organize around real-world things. And then what you do is map all the relevant knowledge or information to those things. And the reason you do that is because we always talk about those things with each other, right? So by organizing it this way, anytime you need information about anything, all you have to do is look at that replica. The answer will be there if somebody's asked the question before. So the system stores all that knowledge in a way that is organized around the real world. And that makes it a lot easier for everybody else. What this does for you is it gives you capabilities. New capabilities, especially if data privacy, data security are important to you. All right? If experimentation, learning, testing are also important to you because you're trying new things with digital technologies. And then if you want to try to operationalize them, we make it much easier for you to do that. Because all the investments that you've been making should be leveraged in the future. And that's what the framework helps you do. All right? So let's talk a little bit about our corporate clients, SATs. They're on this journey, like many of you, to become more agile and to use more data in their decisions. We are fortunate to work with them on a new business that they're trying to develop, which is the buy on board business for low-cost carriers. So imagine going on Scoot and being able to buy food on the airline. It's moving from currently, you are pretty much taking pre-orders from passengers or the airline to a more personalized set of menus that passengers can have and and also driving better sustainability and profitability for the airline as well as SATS. And that's the objective of what this journey is all about. So a couple of key objectives of the pilot. First and foremost, it's articulating what the benefits are going to be of this digital transformation, right? What is the value that you can create uniquely? Is that worth operationalizing? Secondly, is to address a very big problem that they've always had. That is the unwillingness of any partner to actually share data with you. Because if data is the most valuable resource, why would I give it up? And so it's been a very ongoing problem for SATS. And the third one is, how do I, if I decide that this is something I want to invest in, how do I avoid a lot of the manual tasks that are probably going to be associated with it? So just to ground everyone, how things work currently is whatever's loaded on the plane is really what was loaded previously, because I really don't have a lot more information than that. Who I sell to on the plane is really asking the passenger, do you want to buy something? I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, that's all they have to work on. And then at the end of the day, whatever gets thrown away or whatever gets reloaded on the plane is really what's just left behind, right? And so there's really no sort of science behind it for the most part. And so this actually makes a difference for both the airline and SATS, because if you bring stuff onto the plane and you don't sell it, you're going to burn extra fuel, and that's really expensive and also very bad from a carbon footprint perspective. If you don't maximize your revenue opportunities, you're leaving money on the table, as well as impacting your profitability. So what did we do? The pilot was about creating this knowledge space, right, which is a digital representation of the buy on board business. We're planes, we're flights, we're passengers, and building a logical twin of that system for SATS. And to that twin, you map information that could come from SATS, which involves things like consumer insight, retail insights, and so forth, as well as Scoot, passenger manifest. And how do you actually do this without actually exchanging information in the traditional sense? As a next step, we're going to be showing how they can, Scoot can have the control over the business, and then how the analytical roadmap can actually develop, and ultimately building interfaces that actually build right into the operations. So we are disrupting conventional markets where you no longer need to collect data and centralize it. You can start to avoid a lot of the data pipeline issues. What we're most excited by is the automation that we can do as it relates to a lot of the tasks that used to be done by people. We've been fortunate to work with some world-class organizations, both in the US and here in Singapore, and backed by a team as we move from this building of a horizontal platform into industry verticals. And we're most excited with the work with Ian as it relates to the hospitality industry, which is where we're only getting started. So, as all of you sort of embark on this digital transformation journey, if there's anything that we can do to help you make that easier, let us know. We'll be happy to help you. Thank you. We're Leader Technologies.
Thank you, Edwin. Safe and secure, building an intelligent organization here. We have some questions for you. I will ask you some of them now. One of it would be, what level of data requirement would you need from your customers?
So that's an interesting question. I think the answer is you can start anywhere you are. There are no real requirements, right? The approach we take is we will adapt to what your systems are, where your information comes from. If you have Excel spreadsheets, fine, we'll use that, right? If there are new sources of information that we know we're going to need to incorporate, we make it easy for you to bring that into the play, right? So it's all about interoperability, using what you have, starting from there, and then building out from there on.
Okay, and maybe related to this one, a very interesting question coming from the audience. How quickly can you make sense of an industry partner's data set to provide valuable insights?
So if the industry partner has data to begin with, it's usually quite easy to get some exploratory data analytics going on, so a couple of days, if not weeks. When you try to automate the process, that will probably take us about a couple of weeks because you're connecting into different data sources and so forth, and building, systematically building a logical structure that would mirror the client's situation.
Okay, thank you so much.
Well, thank
Brilliant
you.
start. We will hand over to the next team to come on stage. Okay, we all know them. They cost time, nerves, and also may not be the best for the environment. Traffic jams. So what if you could work alongside the supply chain of your company to actually improve these rush hour moments and optimize these rush hour moments in your premises? We have today Jonathan here from Quinkers, a Singapore-based company, and we want to hear more about Quinkers. Please join me.
Thank you so much. Today, I'm here to present Quinkers, and I'd like to thank Minister Tan for joining us, and our CEO, Tan also. Mr. Tan doesn't have to, well, he's introduced us already, so I don't have to do much. But thank you. So a quick word about what we actually do. We're an end-to-end supply chain platform, and we look at optimizing and organizing shipments across the world for logistics providers, the likes of the UPSs, the DHLs, the FedExes, postal offices, and the like. We look at it through an operating system. So we have an operating system that has 11 different modules, really that we can deploy with our logistics companies and really addressing different problem statements, from organizing the orders, from creating visibility, to actually optimizing the shipments all the way from Singapore to the States. Now, today when we actually are, and what we've done over the last 6 months with Pontiac Land is an interesting problem. It's a problem that we've been working through, or that they've been working through since 2017, about really trying to figure out how do we get the suppliers organizing the shipments with the actual hotels. Right now, you've got traffic jams outside of the loading bays, time and time again, as supplier 1 arrives, then supplier 2 arrives, then supplier 3 arrives. Now, how do you get them to cooperate? Because everyone has different incentives, the hotels versus the suppliers. The suppliers themselves don't necessarily want to cooperate with each other, which is also another problem. And then the second is, you're actually trying to implement a system which takes education. Today, we're here really to implement or to explain how we've been working through that and trying to get the hotels successfully so, as well as the suppliers on board, in particular with Pontiac Land. So, what does the past look like? The past looks very easy. You have essentially the suppliers getting their trucks, maybe half loaded, and you essentially directly fulfill the hotels with your supplies, maybe shampoo supplies. The orders are manually created. It's pen and paper, scanned in orders, get scanned over from the hotel to the supplier. I need, a couple of 10,000 shampoo bottles. Great. Gets sent over the next 2-3 days, no visibility, no order management, nothing, right? No, and then let alone actual optimization. Now, fast forward to now, there is some automation. So we still have the direct fulfillment. We still have the direct trucks going on, hence the traffic jams. But at least there is some automation in the order management, in the OMS systems. So at least that has become electronic. But the visibility is still somewhat lackluster. The capacity allocation still doesn't happen. You still have half-filled trucks around, and that still doesn't really solve the problem. Now, what if you could actually combine it? What if you could say, okay, you have an fully automated order management system that is maybe even hooked into the hotel ERP systems that automatically tracks, how many shampoos are necessary on an ongoing basis. Then you have an end-to-end algorithm optimizing your shipments and actually creating the orders with the suppliers, allocating the vehicles, and getting the vehicles all organized in one uniform sequence. The result is you eliminate congestion, you can get trucks in a nice uniform way, you can get them full, and you reduce the CO2 emissions. So, this essentially works, in a couple of models. You first work from, you work from a couple of steps. You work from a step 1, which is you still try and do some direct fulfillment. You can't try and convince all of the suppliers to do this immediately. So you do some direct fulfillment, you optimize that, and you actually work through that. That's what we're doing right now. Now, the next step after that is you start combining it. So we're working with a couple of logistics providers here locally, including actually electric vehicle companies, to actually build out a warehouse just outside of CBD. You consolidate your orders from the suppliers into this warehouse, and then as and when the orders come in, you actually send out trucks. And these trucks are optimized and actually full, and you start reducing the cost, you start optimizing the ETAs, the actual delivery time windows, and you work through that. That's the hub and spoke model. Now, it's a traditional model, we all know it, but actually we have the systems to actually deploy this electronically too. The hotels, the value proposition is fairly straightforward. You utilize personnel more, you don't have as much waiting times at the loading bays, you reduce congestion, you reduce noise, and you gain 100% visibility over all of your supplies, even as you go step by step, supplier 1 to supplier 2, and start onboarding them. For the suppliers, the value proposition is straightforward. You can open up several new business opportunities, right? Instead of having this truck occupied, you can now do 2, 3 hotels at the same time. You're not constrained by your deliveries anymore, which is very often the case. You can reduce your operating costs, and our measures with most of our customers is around 20 to 30% that we reduce in operating costs. And then you can also save time, right? You save time in the deliveries, you save time in the driving times, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what does this actually look like physically? You have your trucks going, your red trucks going from the individual suppliers all around to the hotels in the CBD area. Now, that's current. When we go to the right-hand side, then you have a less amount of trucks that are visiting a couple of warehouses all at the same time, consolidating it into the orange warehouse. And then you have a separate set of smaller as well as more nimble trucks going out from the CBD from the warehouse into the hotels and optimizing that. And you have a less amount of trucks, everything is consolidated, and everything is fulfilled. Now, that's what also our vision is. We do this on a global basis. We currently manage shipments for large airlines, for large logistics companies, and we look at really how can we integrate our systems into these global providers, global suppliers, as well as global customers like hotel chains, and really scaling that out. That makes it scalable. We allow customers to transition. We educate them through that process, and the end result is lower costs, lower emissions, and et cetera. So far, we've gotten a lot of traction when we talk about Quinkes itself. We're about 145 people at this point. We're a Series B stage company. We're deployed across 48 countries. We do about 70 million shipments a month right now. And we process about 1.4 quadrillion routes. We actually do this on the national supercomputer here in Singapore through our AI systems. The team is pretty sizable at this point as well, with a sophisticated team behind it and really running the process. The ask is pretty simple. How do we educate the suppliers and the hotels? Our biggest kind of things that we've been working through in the last 6 months is education. Is really how do we educate hotels? And this is a good thing. This is a win-win to optimize your operations, right? You want to eliminate your congestion. But then simultaneously, how do you get different suppliers who may be competing, right? You may have shampoo supplier 1 and shampoo supplier 2 actually competing with each other. How do you get them to cooperate? How do you get those deliveries in the same truck to deliver across different hotels? It's possible, but it takes education. It's a win-win for both, and that's the big ask to all of you guys to really help us in that process. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jonathan. There's a couple of questions actually for you, and for those questions that we are not able to address, please fill in the Connect Me form, and then Jonathan is definitely going to be able to answer those afterwards. But let's get to a couple of these. One very close to the ask that you have. This solution would require some buy-in from existing suppliers and delivery services. How have you found their buy-in into the use of new platforms like Quinkes?
A lot of that is actually just really sitting down with them. It is sitting down with them and telling them, look, this is how the mobile phones work. This is what the dashboards look like. This is how our optimization systems work. We're not trying to eliminate one supplier or the other. And then simultaneously actually modeling their operations, right? We actually model their operations, we take the data, and we show them just on a purely digital level, you're reducing 25% in cost. Let's actually move that into the real world now. That's a long process that takes weeks, essentially in short. But that's how we would get them to cooperate, and that's how we've gotten them to cooperate as well with us.
Okay, and there's one more very interesting one. Somebody is asking, does this only work with Singapore suppliers, or can you actually connect global suppliers outside of Singapore too?
We are a global company out of Singapore, born and bred, but no, we definitely do look at global markets as well. 48 countries so far, but any country that we've been deployed in, we've been able to really tackle the problems there. So if you can come up with a specific country, I can tell you exactly if we're there already or not, but it is likely that we are.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for presenting Quincus to us.
Thank you so much.
Let's continue on. I welcome on the stage Kay from Cotosona. This is a multilingual concierge tool that lets you converse with your customers in real time and live, even though you may not speak the same language or have the same cultural background. This is true high-touch customer service, and all the way from Japan, Kay, please let us know about Cotosona.
Thank you, Katrin. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Kay. I'm the product manager of the solution that I'll be presenting to you today. I am also the Singapore pilot lead. It's an honor to talk about our pilot with our wonderful industry partner, Marina Bay Sands. Katazuna is a Japanese company founded in 2016. And since then, we've always been focused on developing multilingual products, especially for the hospitality industry. As a gaijin or foreigner in Japan, it could be very stressful to live there if you don't know Japanese. You might want to use Japanese chatbots if you're trying to reserve a hotel or a restaurant, but that would always be a disaster. Now, you'd think that using an English chatbot could help better, but that is not always the case. I remember when I was booking my flight from Japan to Singapore for this program, I was using a luxury airline. They had a website and a chatbot, and I decided to use it to book my ticket. But that transaction completely failed. I was not able to get my ticket. The chatbot was not able to help me at all, and I had to give the lowest rating possible. And to my surprise, as soon as I did that, the chatbot then told me that it would now connect me to a live agent. Now, thankfully, with the live agent, I was able to purchase my ticket. That experience reaffirmed that the solution that we have for MBS and for Singapore is actually something that truly addresses a real pain point here. MBS recognizes that language barrier is a business risk and that live chat, not chatbot, could help ensure high-touch customer service. Now, the problem is MBS already has a live chat, but they would like to make it multilingual to address or engage one of their top 5 markets, which is the Japanese market. And so the solution that we have for this is Katazuna Multilingual Live Chat. Now, our pilot with MBS has 2 phases. Phase 1 was conducted from May to June this year, and Phase 2 will begin next month, ending next year in February. Now, what's the difference between the 2 phases? Phase 1 was all about us proving our translation technology first to MBS management team, who would then have to convince their senior management team about adopting our solution. Now, Phase 2 will be about deploying our solution on the MBS website, and we will be assessing the outcomes next year. Now, for Phase 1, MBS required highly accurate and speedy translations, a secure platform, and a brand-conforming design. We were able to achieve all that, and during this process, there were about 5 to 10 members from each team, Katazuna and MBS, participating in the test. My dear Japanese colleagues role-played as Japanese guests, and MBS had members acting as MBS contact support staff. Together, we were able to create various scenarios. They were conversing using our product while assessing the quality of our translation. Okay, I think there were some slides that were skipped. Okay, but anyway, during the test, so since that test was actually successful, then MBS management team had to go ahead with their closed-door meeting with their senior management team. And this slide is actually a borrowed slide from that meeting. After that closed-door meeting between MBS management team and MBS senior management team, they gave the go signal for our second phase of the pilot. Now, as you can see, MBS management team as well, they looked at our translations between English to Japanese, English to Korean, English to Mandarin, and vice versa. They were quite happy about the translations that we did for them. Now, they were also surprised that Katazuna translation could capture the nuances of the Japanese language. They were also quite happy that we could detect and translate MBS-specific terms. Now, I'm going to show you a brief video that will actually show you the platform that we created for MBS powered by Katazuna Translate. Okay, so you can see the video on your screen. On the right is a smartphone used by the Japanese guest, and on the left is the platform that we are building for MBS. What you are seeing is a 3 months worth of work, and it's still a work in progress. As you can see, we can simultaneously translate the languages. The Japanese guest would type his message in Japanese, MBS staff would get it in English, and the MBS staff would type his or her reply in English, and the Japanese guest would get it in Japanese. It's seamless translation. Now, our solution is very robust because our translation is built in. We automatically detect users' languages. We translate chats real-time using the most advanced machine translation systems. And we do not discount the importance of human input, which we believe is an approach that truly refines our translation technology. Now, the numbers that you're seeing on the other side were actually outcomes that were reported by our customers in Japan after they have adopted our translation technology. For phase 2, we will be deploying our solution on the MBS website, and we will gather as many conversation travel data as possible, and we should be able to facilitate smooth and effective communication between MBS staff and Japanese guests. Studies would show that consumers are 70% more likely to purchase a product if that transaction is held in their own language, and 86% more likely to purchase the product if they're happy with the service that you're giving them, regardless of the cost. We predict that Katazuna Multilingual Live Chat would be able to increase conversion, improve customer satisfaction and loyalty, reduce labor costs, and improve efficiency, thanks to multilingual translation and automation. Katazuna Live Chat is not only crucial to the hospitality industry, we also find it very helpful for other industries, such as travel and tour, banking, real estate, aviation, automobile, logistics, healthcare, and e-commerce. We are confident that we can help all these companies from different industries to deliver high-touch customer service because of our superior translation technology. Quick Connect Limited, which is a Japanese company, tested our translation against Google Translate and Microsoft Bing, and the results showed that Katazuna translation is 20 to 50% more accurate than these mainstream machine translation engines. Our business model is SaaS. Our subscription fee is $100 per staff per month. And we have a strong, reliable sales partner in Japan, JTB, or Japan Travel Bureau, which is Japan's largest travel corporation. And in Japan, our flagship product, Katazuna In-Room, is currently being used by more than 100 hotels. Genri Goto is our CEO founder, who was also the CEO founder of Kenko.com, which was Japan's first and largest online drugstore. He's a serial entrepreneur himself. We met each other at the National University of Singapore when we were both working on our graduate studies. And myself, I'm the product manager of Katazuna Multilingual Live Chat, and I'm overseeing the development of the product. And maybe Genri and myself are actually setting the vision for this product, but we owe the realization of this product to our very capable team of engineers in Japan, led by Matthias and Ishikawa-san. Now, when I mentioned to Ms. Shu about my dismaying chatbot experience with the luxury airline, which I shared with you earlier, she said that ultimately, business needs to decide on what kind of service they would like to give to their customers. Katazuna Multilingual Live Chat would be able to ensure high-touch customer service. We are now intending to open an office in Singapore, and that was actually the main reason for why we competed for the STA program. I believe that Singapore, there's no other place like this country to start our journey away from home. We're looking for more customers, partners, and mentors. Thank you very much. Arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you, Kay. Also for you, a couple of questions.
Sure.
One that is actually asked twice, so I will ask that one first.
All right.
How many languages does Kotosona support?
Right.
And does it include German? Very specific here.
Yes. German is definitely included. Kotozuna actually translates over 109 languages, but for the pilot, we're only looking at Japanese and English translations.
Okay. And a second one, can the system, the Kotosona LiveJet, turn also requests to action, like send orders as well?
Oh yes, definitely. So we actually go beyond translating messages. As if you actually remember the portal that I showed you earlier, it's a portal made by Kotozuna, and actually all the actions, the functions that a staff would have to do in receiving and closing a ticket or inquiry would actually be covered by that platform.
Perfect. Thank you, Kay, so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, moving on. We are going into marketing. Every marketeer and salesperson has one wish: knowing the consumer preferences of tomorrow and being able to act and prepare for them now. This is what Singapore's Synthesis does, and I let Ash from Synthesis explain a bit more about it.
Hi guys, I'm Ash, I lead partnership development at Synthesis. Now, we exist to help businesses with 4 very important growth questions. Firstly, what is the addressable consumer growth opportunity? Secondly, what innovation or marketing strategies will help you to access this evolving opportunity? Thirdly, how can we optimize performance of these marketing and innovation strategies? And fourthly, how does the business need to evolve or change as the future changes? Now, we started Synthesis because of our frustrations with the insight tools that existed around answering these questions. Surveys, focus groups, interviews, they failed to evolve over the last 50 years. They can be effective, sure, but they're time-consuming, they're expensive, and worst of all, they deliver insights that were stuck in the moment, ignorant of the human context in which they were collected. Time and time again, we saw that businesses were increasing their insight spend only for them to end up with fragmented understanding of the consumer opportunity. Time and time again, we saw that there was a massive disconnect between consumer insights and the brand execution, and that was hindering business growth. So that's not unlike the challenge facing sales teams not so long ago. And much like Salesforce, we see an opportunity for a platform that can act as an operating system for marketing and innovation teams, a place to transform consumer insights into business opportunities. Now, we will deliver this by addressing some of the frustrations that we've had with traditional insight tools. We ensure access to real-time data, layered data sets, which provide a range of different insights on demand. We prioritize deep context. We don't do dashboards. We celebrate the human stories, all captured in the moment and in their own words. Now, lastly, we incorporate the mechanics of collaboration. Now, what that does is it democratizes the insights, so it's not just accessible by the insights team, but accessible for the entire organization. Now, the SATS problem is very aligned to one of the areas that we focus in on: understanding how consumer preferences and behaviors are changing so that we can develop better marketing and sales strategies. Specifically, SATS wanted to be able to spot the changing consumer F&B preferences and behaviors, and to use that to create more immediate menu innovation opportunities, specifically for the route between China and Singapore for Scoot travelers. Now, that's not to say that the SATS team is not already fairly successful in menu innovation, but rather the pilot is about addressing some of the challenges around this. Our solution was to provide access to Shift. This is a SaaS platform that we created to help businesses discover consumer change, collaborate on ideas, and feel confident about their next big bet. Now, we designed Shift to help the SATS team overcome some of the challenges that they face around menu innovation. For example, we've built algorithms that will surface more relevant trends, thereby reducing their reliance on human hunches. We've built a results page that goes beyond data points and provides the team with rich human insights that will help them spot not just the trends, but the flavors, the ingredients, the brands, all the things that are really important for driving stronger execution. And by lowering the barriers to collaboration and designing for users who are less data savvy, we're able to ensure that the insights can be shared across the teams and with the team that is delivering on the execution. Now, to ensure that the platform was fit for purpose, we had to amend the data sources that were feeding into this, switching from global platforms like Twitter, Google, YouTube, to platforms more fit for Chinese partners, Baidu, Weibo, Bilibili, for example. Alongside this, we optimized the trends algorithm for Mandarin language to ensure that it was effectively surfacing the changes around what consumers were talking about, what consumers were searching for, and being influenced by in the China F&B sector. Now, over time, we believe that the upside for the SATS team will not only be an uplift in in-flight sales, but also there are indirect benefits, specifically around helping to improve the traveler experience and boost brand equity amongst its partners. So what's next? Shift can be tailored to spot changes for different SATS teams. For example, we can think about on-ground catering services. It can also be tailored to fit across different routes. China is what we built this for, but it can be easily tailored for US, Australia, anywhere in Europe, for example. It can also be tailored for different types of travelers, going beyond just Scoot travelers, but thinking about more affluent travelers. And beyond SATS, we can apply Shift to any category vertical where there's rich levels of consumer online behavior, whether that be travel and hospitality, whether it be fashion and luxury, beauty and skincare, or even entertainment. Now, it's not just us that sees the potential value of an insight SaaS tool. Over the past 2 years, our largest consulting relationships have begun to migrate to SaaS tools that allow the insights to be more readily available amongst the whole team. And we've already had success monetizing parts of the technology that will underpin Shift, generating a monthly revenue rate of 190,000 Singaporean dollars and approximately 150 paid users on our SaaS platform. And our leadership team is well positioned to continue this growth. We bring together decades of experience working in marketing services. We understand the challenges that our partners face, and more importantly, we're very passionate about fixing them. Now, from Q4 onwards, we'll be looking to build on the success that we've had working with our existing consulting partners and move to an open beta release, testing our ability to generate a pure SaaS pipeline. And to that effect, we'd love to use the remaining time to see if there are advisors, advocates, people who are passionate about addressing the inefficiencies in marketing and innovation spend. Specifically, we're looking for potential advisors who might be able to lend us their expertise as we explore new go-to-market strategies and integrate Shift with a wider MarTech ecosystem. But we're also seeking potential partners who would like to see if Shift can help them to address the gaps that exist between consumer insights and innovation. We would love to use Shift to help you spot meaningful change amongst your target consumers. Thanks so much for your time today. We'd love to hear from you. Please do get in touch.
Thank you, Ash. Some questions for you here. One would be, how do you envision Shift to apply to other tourism verticals?
So I think there's a for us, the exciting thing is how specific it can get with tourism verticals. So we've already built Shift so that it works so wonderfully with restaurants and F&B. So it can immediately support restaurant solutions. Thinking not only about menu innovation, but potentially thinking about concepts that go beyond menu innovation and think about themes for restaurants. But we also like the fact that it can start to kind of work towards the guest experience in a very specific way. Thinking, for example, about the amenities in room, the kind of the bathroom amenities that are available. We can use Shift to better surface trends around beauty, skincare, aspects that will drive towards a more delightful, a more differentiated, a more relevant consumer experience in hotels. So that's just one of the ways that we can kind of start to do that.
Perfect. I think you partially answered the next question as well. Where do you see the opportunities for this to develop even further?
Yeah, I think kind of any instance where there is a rich kind of consumer behavior online, there's rich conversations, I think it's possible to work with that data to better the guest experience. I think the opportunity is that as hotels struggle with the competitiveness caused through COVID, I think consumer centricity becomes super important. Being able to anticipate what your consumers' perceptions are, what your consumers' expectations are, based on their experiences that they have outside of your hotel. It becomes almost kind of pivotal to driving stronger guest experience.
Okay, thank you so much, Ash.
Thank you.
All right, let's digest these first presentations and innovations, and let's look at the Singapore Tourism Accelerator again. I have heard that we have over 180 people watching us online, plus you here. I think that's a good crowd to look at what new innovations you would like to see. And for this, I direct you back to the Mentimeter page. It's the same QR code that you had right now for the Q&A sessions. And yeah, let us know what are your most pressing challenges? What tech innovations would solve your organization's biggest challenges? Yeah, we would like to use that data to then get going on Cohort 5 of the Singapore Tourism Accelerator and have your challenges maybe addressed. Let's see what's coming up. Thank you. Okay, I think that's locked, the other one. Okay, let's see. Anybody putting in some questions? This is our intermission. Any ideas that could fuel your tourism sector? Data analytics, marketing. This is basically your chance to let us know how to compose Cohort 5 for you. Yeah, that's a good one, getting the industry to willingly share data. We might have some help there already with Leader. Manpower challenges. Yeah, I think that is something that definitely came up already for Cohort 4. Big topic, staff again, training them. Reducing carbon, training the staff. That's a good one too, flexibility of moving the staff around. Good stuff. Ooh, now it's you guys are on fire. Thank you. Getting some good stuff coming. Fun virtual experiences in tourism. Interactive. Awesome. Ooh, arrival ETA of guests. I read a lot of sustainability, so that's really nice to see. Perfect. This is great input. Thank you so much for providing us with these topics. What we will do with this is take it back and see what we can derive from for Cohort 5 and for future cohorts of the Singapore Tourism Accelerator. We do have an info session planned for the 5th of October, where we invite all industry partners that are interested in this program and want to participate or get engaged to know more. And we hope to see you all there. We definitely take this back with SDV and study it and see whether we can scout for solutions. We will continue, though, now with Cohort 4. There's 5 more teams waiting for you to pitch. And the first presentation is actually coming to you from online. We are moving digital. We are welcoming Next Orbit from India. And this solution will help you understand how to sell products, what products, and at what price if you have a digital marketplace. So Kishore from India he knows the answer, and he will tell us more about Next Orbit. Kishore, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Kishore, founder, CEO of Next Orbit, specializing in delivering competitive intelligence to support data-driven decisioning. A pleasure to be here with you guys, the Singapore Tourism Accelerator Cohort 4, esteemed industry partners, the esteemed minister at Singapore. Honored to be here. When is the last time we guys shopped online or consumed something online? Pretty recent, I presume. It's just now become part of our life. And what do we do before we actually complete a purchase online? We go and look for alternatives. We look for the best alternative. That's what research also shows from KPMG, that most customers, they check their cell phone, compare prices, their price comparison tools, and that gets you the best price. This brings us to what does it mean for us as businesses? You got to know your competition. You got to know what strategies they're using, what's their in-stock status, what's their pricing, what's their promos, what's their markdowns. If you don't understand that, you will not succeed. The problem is, yes, it's exacerbated by COVID. There's more digitization, there's more inflation, the immediacy is higher, price changes are more frequent, because when you have digital platforms, you can change prices more regularly. Which brings us to our platform, the Next Orbit Price High platform, analyzes competition, their activity, their promos, their markdowns, their pricing, and feeds it in for you to take better decisions. It's enabled by machine learning, by artificial intelligence, discovers new products, discovers trends, discovers products being removed, identifies similar products, markdowns, in-stock status. The Price High platform delivers to us, to the customers, assortments of products, prices, markdowns on all aspects of a price, inventory status, reviews, sentiments, trends. And the benefits, the business benefits of Price High is very simple: better sales, better decisions, better insights, so our actions are more informed. And many aspects is this assortment, basket sizes are higher because you understand equivalence and you're able to target accordingly. Pricing decisions are more informed. You don't do the race to the bottom. You don't, for example, why do you need to reprice a product when your competitors are out of stock, for example? We conducted a pilot for Changi Travel Services, and they came to us and said, we need to understand what prices are being charged by competition, what are their markdowns, what's their assortment, and what can we learn from them. And they've given us a good quote that they liked working with us. We work directly with Ying Shang, Edmund, and Serene of the CTS team. The results are here for us to see: 1,200 products scoured over a period of 2.5 months, 800 products missing on Changi, on CTS, and they were surprised. And further winnowed and shortlisted 35 products, removing obscure products, bringing up the most popular ones, 13 brands being shortlisted for onboarding, Also, 11 competitors analyzed and 262 products being put forth on daily price monitoring, allowing us to monitor minutely and change our prices. Let's look at the results here. By competitor, we were able to give an assortment match. So in other words, which of them really sort of are head-to-head with common products? And for the matched assortment, how was their price distribution? So the yellow colored indicates where the competition has higher prices. The blue is where we, as in Changi Travel Services, has lower prices. So you can clearly see that Changi Travel Services, CTS, is pretty low price, well priced, and does well in competition. There is an opportunity to increase prices on some price elastic products. We also drill down, and for each retailer with the match, we also tell you how many of them are priced lower, how many are priced higher. This is actually from a dashboard, so you could drill down to get the exact list of products that we need to focus on. We also give you a time trace per product, saying what's the track record for the last several months of prices on each site. When have they been out of stock? That's another thing we discover. This can be made available to you when combined with point of sale data, allows you to do price elasticity modeling, allows you to model the impact of a price increase or decrease. The biggest recommendations, yes guys, you guys are doing well in terms of being price competitive. There is some room, in fact you're at the Q2 quintile from the bottom, so there is some room to lower prices on some products, and on some price elastic products you could raise prices. You got to increase your assortment. You're way behind in terms of assortment, and we've given you specifics there, so you got to reach out to the brands and onboard those assortments. The benefits for CTS is objective data flowing in as a basis for decision. So it's not just gut feel or judgment. It's not just left to the people. You win the game by knowing your competition. You're able to onboard products in a very focused way. You're able to price your products in a very informed way. The broader applications, travel in terms of understanding prices, in terms of understanding capacity, insurance in terms of understanding quotes, comparisons, and trends, fashion obviously trending, and identifying similar products. E-commerce, a lot of application in terms of just prices, delivery fees, and other fees. Pricing model is very simple: a one-time onboarding fee and a monthly fee based on number of products, a number of locations, or number of sites. The global team is a combination of techies, domain experts, industry veterans, building finest platforms to enable you to drive decisions better. Our clients are there globally: US, Europe, Dubai, India, Singapore, and we want to expand our clients in Singapore and the SEA area. Would love to take the next set of conversations with you guys here. In terms of funding, we are looking to raise 500K to strengthen sales, marketing, solutioning, and to go deepen the outreach into the Singapore area. Join us in this journey. Looking forward to speaking with you.
Trying to see if we can get you up here on the screen before I ask the question. There you are. Hello. Perfect. Okay. Question for you here from the audience, and this is a long one. Challenge in travel with price comparison is there's no SKU. So there's no easy single product descriptor, e.g. room type with different name conventions, inclusions, and CXL policy. How do you solve this?
Yeah, price comparison is not just for a SKU or a product. As long as you can define the item. I travel from Tokyo to Singapore, so that's a description. As long as we can define that, we're able to price it and do comparisons across a variety of channels.
Okay. One more question, Kishore. Actually, very nice. Hi, Kishore. Once I have these insights, what can your platform do to help me maximize the profit margins around key events, such as public holidays?
Super. That's really the next step of data-driven decisioning, right? We're giving you the competitor insights where your competition is. Now, we combine it with your data, enterprise data, your sales, and your your product hierarchy, and then give you decisions as to what specific configuration, what specific pricing, what specific action, and how much to promote, how much to market. So the combination of external data with your data will yield rich actions on what you should do around events, around marketing, and so on.
Perfect. Thank you, Kishore. Unfortunately, we couldn't get you here to Singapore, but you will be available for our networking session online later if there are any more questions for Next Orbit. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving on, we want to stay digital. There's one more digital pitch, and this one is coming all the way from Australia. This is a Sydney-based scale-up called SkyFi. And they can help you, again, with all things data. But this time, we're focusing on visualizing your user's journey. So please give it up for Ian and JP from SkyFi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ian Robinson. I'm co-founder and chief sales officer of SkyFi. And I'm co-presenting today with John Paul, who is our director of product research. Unfortunately, we can't be in Singapore with you as we're in lockdown in Sydney, but I'd very much like to thank STB and Revell Innovation for running the program and inviting us to participate. And I'd also like to thank our industry partner, National Heritage Board, for selecting SkyFi to work with. I'm going to introduce SkyFi today and then hand over to John Paul, who will present the results of our project with NHB. SkyFi is a global technology company and market leader in the field of data analytics for physical venues. We've built a data intelligence and communications platform designed to improve the experiences people have of the places where they live, work, travel, and play. SkyFi is an international company, headquartered in Sydney. We have over 100 staff in 9 countries, 1,000 clients in 35 countries, and we have 25 clients in Southeast Asia already. And we're a publicly listed company on the Australian Stock Exchange. Our data platform is cloud-hosted and globally distributed in AWS with instances in every region of the world, including Singapore. Its unique capabilities include being able to integrate with a wide range of technologies and sources of data to identify individuals and their physical behavioral patterns and fuse that together with digital and contextual data sets. This includes venue-based technologies such as Wi-Fi, people counters, cameras, and other IoT devices, as well as sources of data such as web, social, and points of sale, to name a few. We turn this data into applications or solutions that are either operational, for example, crowd and occupancy management, or commercial, for example, driving retail conversion and sales. We provide our platform to over 11,000 venues across 9 different verticals, including clients such as PwC in Australia, PLQ or Paya Lebar in Singapore, Narita Airport in Japan, Wembley Stadium in London, and San Francisco Museum of Modern Art in the US. To give everyone a small flavor of some of our recent product development in the airport space, our computer vision team have been working with camera imagery to detect people and objects. On the right-hand side, we've built an algorithm that can detect unattended baggage and trigger an alert from our platform to security teams to investigate. And on the left-hand side, we're detecting passengers queuing at a taxi rank and identifying whether there are enough taxis to service them. Now I'll hand to JP to present the results of our project with NHB.
Thank you, Ian. For our pilot, we've partnered with the National Heritage Board, or NHB. They manage the national museums and heritage institutions and set policies relating to heritage sites, monuments, and the national collection. NHB aimed to digitally transform the experience of visitors to their cultural centres, and as part of this strategy, NHB now deploys web-based chatbots accessible via QR code at many venues, which now enhance the experience for thousands of visitors across their venues. For the pilot, NHB briefed us to analyse data captured by their chatbot at the Sun Yat-sen Nanyang Memorial Hall to generate insights and recommendations to help them improve their chatbot experience and drive usage of the service. Before I go into the analysis, I'll touch base on the chatbot experience. The chatbot typically sees hundreds of users every month at the venue and contains various self-guided exploration tours as well as guided journeys and quizzes. Users can also write questions to the chatbot to get assistance and support within their journey at NHB venues. And one day, NHB hope to utilize the data from chatbots and other interactive technologies to provide recommendations to visitors that improve their experiences using AI and machine learning. So how did we deliver the pilot? Firstly, we utilized the Skyfi platform to collect data covering QR code location events, chatbot usage statistics, as well as data captured from survey responses for the purpose of analysis. Using Skyfi's analytical models, we translated that data into meaningful insights relevant to visitor experiences. The first of these was simplified usage reporting, where we unified the data from all chatbot journeys. And then we analyzed the sentiment and topic of comments shared with the chatbot to quantify and rank customer pain points. So what did we learn? When analyzing the chatbot usage, we identified that there was a significant dropout rate that if resolved, NHB could increase the overall quest completion rate by 60%. If we look at the diagram on the left, this shows where users typically drop out of the chatbot experience. As you can see, we identify this primarily happens before users even enter the first gallery. When looking at the question dropout rates shown on the right, there was a significant amount of dropouts happening during the first and second questions of the chatbot journey. So to understand this issue further, we then wanted to analyze what types of users were having these issues. To do this, we correlated chatbot usage data with user surveys, as shown in the left-hand report. We were able to determine that school students and children had the lowest completion rates. To further understand why this was occurring, we analyzed user comments to understand which issues were requiring NHB's attention using natural language processing. We identified key topics like reading the amount of questions and providing more engaging content as key priorities for NHB. So what's next? We'll provide a range of recommendations, including an onboarding strategy to reduce early chatbot fallout rates, additional research into student needs to drive up completion rates, and further use of natural language processing to identify new ways the chatbot can service customers. We've also identified additional use cases, including operationalizing the data captured through chatbots to standardize the BI and analytics approach, new survey improvements to identify ways to capture richer data around the experience, and finally, standardization of data management processes at NHB to drive best practice. Back to you, Ian.
Thanks, JP. The NHB project is a great example of how we work at Skyfi. In a few short weeks and working remotely, we've leveraged their existing data to identify new ways to improve the visitor experience at the museum. And I'm confident we'll continue to work with NHB moving forward, which is a great result because as a business, we intend to invest further in Singapore in the next 2 to 3 years and expand our offering into the hospitality and tourism sectors. So if there's anyone in the audience today that works in an organization in any of these sectors and wants to harness the power of data to improve the performance of their venue and the experience for their visitors, then we'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
See if we can get you there as well, and thank you, JP. There you are. Hello. Thank you for this presentation to you and JP. And it's really amazing to see the number of results that you were able to capture doing a remote pilot here. Yeah, so let's get to the questions for Skyfi. There's nothing showing up. Okay, there's one now that came in. Okay, can you share an example of how your solution has contributed to the hospitality sector specifically?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for the question. So currently we have a few clients in the hospitality sector. In particular, we have some hotels. So for example, Virgin Hotels in the US, where we provide a Wi-Fi solution, a guest experience solution through Wi-Fi, which is integrated with the PMS, the property management system, which essentially creates a seamless experience for guests when they're logging into their Wi-Fi. They can simply do that using their room number. But we also collect location analytics to help the hotel understand the behavioural patterns of their guests and also visitors to the hotels, so they can start to optimise the experience for people when they're on site. We also have, and it was great to hear actually the Minister talk about Bondi, which is obviously where I'm located, but Bondi Beach is a precinct of ours, obviously a key kind of tourist destination in Australia, and we provide a location analytics solution to them. And during COVID last year, they asked us to support them with an occupancy management solution where we flew some drones. We have a product called Skyfi drone or Sky Drone, which is where we capture some imagery of people on the beach and then correlated that data with the Wi-Fi data to create a predictive model of occupancy for the teams on the beach to help manage occupancy moving forward. So a couple of examples for you there.
Yeah, great examples, attractions and hotels there. Thank you, Ian, so much for joining us. Also, for you, we are very sad that you couldn't be here, but you'll be online, and there's definitely potential to talk to Ian later in the social networking lounge that we have set up after this. Thank you so much. All right, we are going back to Singapore. And this is something that we all are going to face, especially also in the next 2 weeks. We are back to working from home, and so also goes the training and the corporate training for your teams. It can cause your teams, obviously, to feel disconnected when they have to be trained from home or not when they are with their teams. So enter Nobi, an award-winning micro-learning platform from Singapore and the US. We have Eunice here with us today, and she will tell you more about Nobi.
Thank you, Catherine. Good afternoon, Mr. Wong and honorable guests. So my name is Eunice, and I'm the Client Success Manager at Nobi. So learning has evolved over the years, and we need to now reimagine how to deliver content to the modern learner. So what learning means yesterday is to know what. It is about memorizing, recalling, and regurgitating. But what learning means today is about knowing how and when to utilize the knowledge and the skills that we have acquired. It is to implement a change, to build something new, and to create an impact, be it expanding your business, finding a cure for cancer, or having solutions to clean the oceans. As we advance from learning 3.0 to 4.0, there is a shift in the objectives. We move from knowledge transfer to learning effectiveness and to have a social learning community. Nobi's learning philosophy is based on the science of adult learning, which is application-based and social learning. Nobi is designed for business impacts through transformational learning, and it engages and connects people no matter where they are. We also empower people to take responsibility of their own training because they can choose to do their trainings anytime, anywhere, at their own terms. So we are very honored to have the opportunity to work with Frasers in this accelerator program. And the challenge from Frasers is that they are looking for a scalable digital training platform that can integrate their training modules into a scenario-based micro-learning with additional features like gamification and data analytics. The objectives of the pilot would be to increase the number of team members trained, as well as to increase the learning experience. Also, a reduction in training cost and the time saved. The pilot is designed for 50 front office associates across the 5 properties in Singapore. So conducting trainings was a challenge for Frasers. Prior to COVID, they were having physical classroom trainings and role-play trainings. And because of the pandemic, they actually shifted their trainings online to Zoom. But team communications was disrupted, and the training consistency across the departments was an issue for them. So the proposed solution here would be to use Nobi to design micro-learning modules for them, and this is to eliminate the need for classroom training. With the micro-learning modules, the team members can actually practice their skills online, and they can do it at a personalized as well as a self-directed manner through our Know, Think, Apply, and Share learning model. What Nobi did for this pilot is that we Nobified their training materials, such as the front office associate SOPs, their scripts, as well as body language videos into a micro-learning module. What Nobi is looking beyond this accelerator program is to extend the pilot across to Frasers APAC properties, and from there we would like to have a partnership with Frasers to implement Nobi across the properties globally. The pilot has yet to launch, as we'll be launching next week, but these are the success metrics that we are looking at. We aim to train 2 times the number of team members in a 1-month period, with a 25% reduction in training cost. We will also enable the team members to acquire the same level of knowledge in just 1 hour per month, which is an 87.5% reduction compared to their traditional method. Previously, phasers do not have a tool to look into how effective their investment in training is. But with Nobi, our dashboard enables them to get this kind of data, and then they can look at how much their team members are learning as well as the learning experience. And for this, we aim to get 4 out of 5-star ratings. So using Nobi is beyond just hospitality industry, whether is it for training existing staff, onboarding, or sales enablement. It can also be used in the airlines, financial industries, education, and retail sectors. Nobi is a SaaS company whereby our clients will subscribe to our micro-learning platform and they can create their content on the platform and use it from there. We also have opportunities to upsell these clients to our ready-made content library called Nobi Learn, where they can have a curated shared learning experience. So from mid-2017, when we started commercially, we actually have an exponential increase in the number of programs, users, and curators on the platform. Our target is to reach 1,000 companies, and to date, we have more than 140 paid enterprise clients and more than 150,000 users. And our clients spread globally across 33 countries. We also have strong traction that resulted in a 6-figure revenue from our strategic enterprise clients, and this includes Resorts World, Shangri-La, Conrad, and Raffles. So-Young is the CEO and founder of Nobi, as well as the founding chairman of Awaken Group. Former McKinsey and Harvard MBA, she's also a distinguished young global leader by the World Economic Forum. So our leadership team brings together strategic capabilities in product and growth needed for our global expansion. We also have a stellar team of global advisors with over 100 years of experience across tech, learning, and financial services. We are also very happy to have Dr. Kimo Kippen on board, as he has 15 years of experience in the learning and development, specifically in the hospitality industry. Our vision at Nobi is to build the world's premier performance acceleration engine for frontline business teams. So if you are looking to empower your organization, to develop your team at speed, and to scale for high performance, I'm happy to connect with you later today. Thank you.
Great, Joris, thank you so much. Virtual team building and virtual learning obviously won't go away. So if this is something that you would be looking for, then get in touch with Jonas and with Nobi. A couple of questions for you that we have here. We have seen a lot of the hotel logos on one of your slides. What are some of the main factors you would say that have contributed to your success in the hospitality space?
Okay, I would highlight 2 factors here. One is on the user experience and one is on the content production experience. So for content production, what Nobi does is we can effectively have content production at a 30% reduction in cost, and we can deliver it in 6 times faster compared to traditional platforms. And then for the user experience, based on our case studies and based on our existing clients, the employees in a hotel range from 16 years old to 65 years old. So in terms of user experience, it is easy to use and it's very friendly. It's mobile friendly because we are a mobile first solution. And I think these 2 are the contributing factors to why we have such a success in the hospitality industry.
Thank you, Jonas. One more short one. What other kinds of modules does Nobi offer?
Okay. I think that there are like 2 ways to look about it. First is you can create your own content. So if let's say you're an enterprise client, you can create your own content and put it up. And then separately, those content that is ready-made, you can it ranges from like skills like AI, data, leadership and management, even industry-specific things like chemical waste. We have all this content inside as well. So there's, I would say the ready-made content is there, as well as there's a flexibility for clients to put their own content inside. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Eunice.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you,
We'll
everyone.
see you later. Wonderful. Moving on, a question that I think is very interesting. What do you think our cable cars here in Singapore and the wise elephants of the zoo have in common? Well, they are all in a pilot with our next team, Ulisse from Italy. Ulisse has an IoT platform that helps you understand your clients' behaviors, and it provides actionable insights, specifically on space management, safety, and security. So all the way from Italy, let's welcome Alberto to tell us more about Ulisse.
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, and really thank you for still being here. I'm almost the last one, so I thought I could find nobody when I came in, but really nice to see you around. So I'm Alberto Villa. I am the co-founder and CFO of Ulisse. Okay, so the world is opening up again, well, hopefully. So people tend to get back to the new normal, so back to those, old habits and activities like shopping on retail, visiting public spaces like hotels, restaurants, malls, and so on. Although post-pandemic carried along a sort of changing in the consumer habit, they now tend to have different needs and priorities. So more than ever, now it is crucial to pay more attention on people detection, data detection, and what we can do with this data that are detecting to understand a bit more about the behavioral patterns of this new way of approaching indoor and outdoor activities in order to give some more insights to the overall business itself. As you know, retail and public space were, I think, the most severely hit by the pandemic. The problem is that current technology, legacy technology in place, still rely on CCTVs and cameras, and this lack of somehow some data protection and security for customers, and accuracy and scalability for business, because they are kind of expensive. So when it comes to Ulisse, we are an IoT solution providing real-time analytics for retail, smart cities, and smart buildings in general. With our platform, proprietary AI platform, we are able to provide a solution that is fully privacy compliant and with up to 98% of accuracy by detecting this data from the outdoor space. And we basically help our customers in trying to increase their sales by understanding these new behavioral patterns and provide real-time insights to, for instance, store managers on how to act on visitors and consumers themselves, and also optimizing layouts of indoor spaces, because we are able to detect how the interaction with say shelves or pickup points relate to the visitors, and so then we can eliminate that spaces, and so help retailers to be more, optimizing their costs in general. And we also work with the concept of the 15-minute city, smart city. So by following the pattern of the visitors and the tourists, we can comfortably then provide some hints on how to improve their overall experience and potentially to get back to the city they are visiting at the moment. We basically track any single living body unknown that is moving around, like on indoor and outdoor premises. So our business cases can vary from retail to hotels to malls to anything you have a people flow that need to be tracked. Now, of course, we're engaged with Mount Faber Group and Singapore Cable Cars, and together with them, we have tried to assess how our technology could best foster their their operations. And it came out that they still have some lack of occupancy tracking and monitoring of their guests. And when emergency occurs, sometimes they still have to do some manual procedures that are time consuming and of course not operating efficient as they should be. And the top thing that they put on this request, it was like, our solution should have been fully privacy compliant because they care a lot about the privacy of their guests. So what we try to implement and what we are trying to implement, and with some interesting results, it is our brand new IoT technology that involves radar technology. So by detecting the microwaves from any living body with no camera solution to then recognize and detect how many people are inside the cabins and what is the standard settings inside the cabin itself. So whether they are standing, sitting, where they're sitting, and what they basically do without taking any pictures or frames of their journey. So this is where we concentrated. And then to provide them with a real-time platform, comfortably accessible from a laptop or a mobile device in real time. And so we believe that they are now experiencing some real-time efficiency in terms of operations if any problem or emergency occurs, so they can act in real time. This is our team working with Mount Faber team. It was an interesting journey for us. We experimented for a month and took data for that related time. And well, we learned a lot of things, especially that the cabin itself is a unique indoor location. So we had to deal with electromagnetic interferences, vibrations. Overall, we were able to achieve 70% of accuracy, and which is an incredible result achieved in a month. And we believe that we can improve and foster this number by more working closely with them. And so we are basically ready to develop our solution at scale. Since we can track any living body around, we were also engaged with a second pilot with Wildlife Reserve Singapore, especially not only detecting animals, in this case elephants, all over the park, but also to identify each single elephant from one another. So then we could monitor their own well-being status and provide the team, their operating team, with some actions to make animals feel better. So this pilot still need to take place. Will start potentially in November and will last a couple of months. So we are a company that was established in early 2018. We went to market on 2020. We have targeted the fashion market to demonstrate our technology works. So we closed the first year with 2 logos and 68 stores installed. And now we grew up to 10 logos, and we have installed something like 900 sensors worldwide, from the Americas to Asia and passing from Europe. So we basically cover the whole world with our sensors. We have several partnerships in place, especially with R&D, with leading Italian universities and corporate. And then we have some R&Ds with marketing, production, and after sales and delivery for covering such a huge amount of land with a kind of small team. We are growing. The leading team has more than 80 years experience in different fields, mostly in general management, finance, technology, and sales. We also avail of an advisory board, so we are like employing C-levels in the field of fashion and technology to help the company to set those guidelines for our development. We passed through 2 fundraising rounds. We raised so far $2.5 million with our Series Seed and bridge round. We are now asking or trying to set our Series A worth barely $10 million. We have some commitments. We would like to, of course, expand our radar technology, and then, of course, expand the team, entering new industries like the smart cities, and for this, incorporate a company in Singapore. Also, to exploit the local talent potential hiring of people. So then we would like to have some more partnerships, local partnerships, commercial and financial-wise. And I'm Alberto Villa, CFO and co-founders of Felice. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Alberto. One question here for you. How would you describe the tangible value your solution brings to your customer?
Right, yes. That's what we try to do with Monfaber Group. What we implemented an operational management system that allowed to pass them real-time information to foster their internal operations. So then they could avoid maybe entering into much on manual things and go on real-time actions that we could pass on them. So this is potentially what our solution works the most. And then, of course, I mean, as I said before, data now is really crucial for understanding the customer behavior. New consumers, the consumers have new needs at the moment, and they are all to discover. And you can only do it with data. Since technology allows it, we are into it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alberto.
Thank you.
All right. This is going to be our last presentation, and I do promise you this is a visual celebration. Augmented reality and gamification is the essence of this upcoming team, Actuality, a Singapore-based company. Warren is here today, and he will show you how their solution can help you engage, educate, and also earn in this digital age. So, Warren, let's come.
Everyone, please repeat after me. Aloha. Good afternoon, honorable guests and fellow cohort mates. My name is Warren Woon, co-founder and managing director of Actuality. Please pardon my aloha. Having lived in Hawaii for 23 years, I've grown accustomed to using it at public engagements. And in Hawaii, there's a term called talk story, for moments to chit-chat and also to share interesting things. And I'd like to share a little bit about Actuality. We want to help fulfill our creators' storytelling journey by empowering them to engage customers with fun, interactive, and immersive experiences. And we do so with our end-to-end solution, starting with marketing of our creators' content that leads to their discovery, then through registration, buying a ticket to these experiences. Creators share their story with engaging and interactive content, encouraging customers to connect with calls to action, leading to monetization for our creators. So, what have we learned in the last 1.5 years? Is that even though the pandemic has increased digital adoption, businesses still find it difficult to monetize. Similarly, customers find virtual content neither fun nor engaging. And these common pain points are the reason that Actuality is participating in this accelerator, strengthening our end-to-end solution. We're very thankful for the opportunity to work with 2 distinguished organizations, the National Heritage Board and Far East Hospitality. Tourism, one of Singapore's major economic pillars, bringing in more than $27 billion in tourism receipts in 2019, saw a sharp decline to under $5 billion in 2020. One key hallmark in Singapore's tourism brand is the cultural precinct of Kampong Glam. NHB plans to have an experience where users can explore and learn about Kampong Glam in a fun and engaging way, while encouraging the users to interact within a virtual social space. Our solution, the first of its kind for Kampong Glam, immerses users in physical, virtual, and hybrid environments. Consisting of storytelling and games, users can play traditional games like gassing and hide and seek virtually. Our goal is to drive awareness through fun and educational content, with the aim of generating higher visitorships, both physically and virtually, and eventually resulting in a deeper connection to Kampong Glam. Here's a sneak peek of our Kampong Glam experience. What you're seeing is part of our planning board. And as seen in the video, we're still busy building it and will complete it pretty soon. Visitors register as users and are led by Kampong Glam's mascot, Oreo the cat, on one of 3 journeys, playing fun interactive games while learning and connecting to various touch points, such as Malay Heritage Center and many renowned establishments. Users can earn rewards and contribute content into the beautiful virtual art studio. All the while, NHB is learning about user behavior so as to better curate future content to connect with its audience. And because of this project, I now have a favorite gelato spot, Monarchs and Milkweed on Northbridge Road. Okay. One key revenue stream for Singapore hotels is events and weddings. And despite the pandemic, we actually saw over 22,000 registered marriages last year. Due to COVID-related restrictions that further limited physical sales opportunities, events and weddings have been severely impacted. Far East Hospitality initially asked us to create a virtual marketing tool that can showcase their Sentosa hotels and wedding venues. We did one better. We proposed a fun, interactive wedding visualization tool that enables couples to customize the look and feel of the upcoming wedding journey. Okay. Creating a digital fairy tale, if you may. Here's a sneak peek of our Sentosa wedding experience. Planning for a wedding can be a very trying time in a couple's relationship. Okay. We want to minimize the emergence of bridezilla and create something relaxed and fun for couples. Couples start their journey on any of the 4 hotels. They can choose from various wedding themes, customized linen, cutlery, etc. And their selection will magically appear in the interactive experience. Couples can create their very own digital fairy tale, and they can do this 24/7 from anywhere in the world. This experience is still in development. It will be completed soon. So Far East Hospitality will soon maximize its use of space while minimizing resources needed to constantly set up physical spaces, showcases. Okay. The sales and marketing team will be able to prospect 24/7 while focusing on conversions intelligently using data analytics. And very quickly curate better experiences based on couples' behavior, all of which resulting in a healthier bottom line. Oops. We started this journey in 2019 with 2 Singaporeans, and through the pandemic, we grew to over 15 strong across 4 Southeast Asian countries. I'm very fortunate to have Adrian Olivero as my co-founder. He's like the gelato to my fresh baked waffle. With us are 2 very capable advisors, Mr. Goh and Mr. Un. And we continue to have growing adoption of our unified solution And we're very blessed to have these organizations as our working partners. So, where do we go from here? We're not stopping. We're going to combine all of our tech capabilities into our virtual world that has been in the works, called Actual Life. We believe this will be the next evolution in social networking experience. And here's a sneak peek. Oops. Imagine a world where you are free to explore any region or city, retail or cultural precinct, interact with other users and organizations, learn and purchase products organically in the metaverse, discover a world of fun in virtual Sentosa, or experience the next level of retail in virtual Orchard Road, or perhaps even go to a virtual casino. Physical boundaries disappear as we connect everyone easily and meaningfully. Virtual will no longer be a nice to have, but a must have, and a critical component in any market strategy, becoming a new revenue center. As my team continue to develop new and exciting capabilities, we're calling on creators, brands, and businesses from various sectors to partner and collaborate. Let us help you engage customers and monetize your story, to implement innovative ideas, and to develop tech solutions we never thought possible. We're also seeking investors to help take us to the next level, expand out of Singapore, deepen our product offering, and to grow our tech capability and features. And I thank you for letting me talk story and for sharing a little bit about actuality. Thank you.
I have to say mahalo, Warren.
Mahalo.
Creative innovations there, and I still love the trousers of the persons walking through Kampong Klan. I have a question for you. Somebody says, very exciting. Are here any plans to expand from tourism to other industries such as entertainment or retail?
Yes, we're talking to multiple organizations, and yes, our solution is applicable towards various sectors, from retail to entertainment, performing arts, to even education, and as you can see, sales, with Far East. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Warren, so
Thank you.
much. Wow, so first of all, congratulations. You sat through the 9 presentations. Very interesting 9 teams with their solutions. I hope you are intrigued by these solutions and specifically by our teams and founders who have been working tirelessly to present these results to you today. We have a form that we have flashed throughout the presentations for you to fill in if you'd like to be introduced to any of those teams that you're interested in. You can quickly scan it again here. It will also come to you through the thank you email, but this is the quicker way. Yeah, also for you here in the room, the next step is that we have organized the Tech Showcase tour. We will take you up in groups of 2 to go across the aisle to our Tourism Accelerator space so that you can meet some of our founders in person and start conversing. Also, for our teams online, we have a little surprise up our sleeves. Grace has mentioned it right in the beginning. Once this broadcast ends, you will find yourself in a virtual networking forum. It looks like this. There's those branded tables of all our teams. We're also going to have digital moderators there. Jamie and Sharon from the Revel Innovation team will be there to guide you along if you're experiencing any issues. There's also a little help desk table. The idea is that you just pull up a chair or click the join button and sit down on one of these branded tables to talk to the teams that you are interested in. Yeah, and finally, of course, we'd love to hear from you. We want the Singapore Tourism Accelerator to stay meaningful and impactful for our tourism sector. So we invite you to hand in your feedback through our feedback form. There's a link on the chat for you, and there's also a QR code here for your feedback. So please fill that in so that we can make the Singapore Tourism Accelerator meaningful for our tourism sector. Last but not least, what's ahead for the STA? We are organizing, I said it before, an info session on the 5th of October where we invite our tourism partners to join so that you can learn how you can get engaged with the program, how we can solve your challenges, your opportunity areas. And we also invite you then afterwards for our workshops. So we will sit with you and handhold you through the ideation of your problem statements. And based on those, we will go out and scout solutions. So make sure that you join us for these workshops so that your organization can be part of Singapore Tourism Accelerator Cohort 5. And with that, I thank you so much for being with us this afternoon, for joining us. And I hope there will be pleasant conversations online and here in person at the Singapore Tourism Board. Thank you so much.